And then there are the things that the class struggle does that are kind of obvious. Marx points out. Number one, if a tiny group of people, the employers, always a small minority of any capitalist society, if they're in a position to decide what happens with the work the workers, the employees produce, they're going to go out there, sell it, and keep the bulk of the money for themselves. In other words, capitalism produces, reproduces, and worsens inequality. Wealth concentrated among the employers and the few at the top that they employ, the CEO and folks like that. They get it all, don't they? We're living through a pandemic. Even a pandemic that threatens us all doesn't stop capitalism's relentless inequality production. That's why Jeffrey Bezos sees his fortune during the pandemic go from 130 to almost $200 billion, while 25 million people are unemployed. It blows your mind the minute you think it. Marx was eloquent. If you don't want a system that is built on inequality and worsens it even in the pandemic, you've got to deal with class struggle built in to the way every store, every office, and every factory are organized in capitalism. He also points out that it's a system that breeds really destructive feelings and emotions. Workers are terribly worried that they're going to lose their job. It's easy to become competitive with other workers, to see them not as your comrades, your friends, your fellow workers helping to make your work add up to something, but rather to see them as people who may get the job that is taken from you, who may be the ones left on the job when there are layoffs, all of that. It means workers don't trust the employer because they see them trying to make more money by moving abroad to where wages are cheaper, bringing in machines that can substitute for workers, hiring children, women, immigrants to whom they can pay less. They see all that, and there's a bitterness, and the bitterness may turn against the employer, or it may turn against the scapegoat who gets blamed, even though the class structure and the class struggle are the problems these people face. It means the employer, as I mentioned, becomes also very bitter towards the employees. If there's trouble in the enterprise, the employer blames the employees. They're not really in it, as if that should be surprising to anyone. Of course they're not in it. You've kept them out of it by taking their product, by not making yourself accountable to them. Of course there's tension and bitterness. That's the point of Marx's directing us to think about it. The class struggle is part of our lives, shapes our society, conditions our own personal existence. We should understand it. We should examine it. We should be aware of it.